Hey guys, this is Kathy from the Superstar Elite program, and I'm really excited to talk with one of our current graduates of the Fitter After 40 program. This is Karen. She's been such an amazing, just badass. I mean, obviously, just you're so amazing. I'm so excited to talk about your journey. And thank you for being here. I know that you're busy. I know you have a lot of things going on, and I do really give you so much credit for staying on track with your goals. And I'd love to just hear a little bit more about where you were, where you are, and where you want to go. So if you can please just start by sharing a little bit more about who you are and just maybe something fun about yourself.
So I'm Karen, and I'm let's see, something fun. I don't know. I do all kinds of stuff. A lot of just exciting. I do make glitter cups. That's different.
That's fun.
Uh, yeah. So I'm also work in education. So I'm around young kids often. So yeah.
That's fun too. I love it. Yeah, I love your glitter cups. I know you showed me those recently, and I was like, those are so much fun. I need to order some from you. Um,
I gotta make one
anyway,
for you.
I love those. Okay, so let's just jump back quickly in terms of when you started, because I know you were obviously on track, and at this stage of life, things change. So share a little bit about like where were you in your journey, and then what changed, and what made you say, "Oh my God, I need something to get me through this time of life."
Well, I think a big change for me was becoming perimenopausal and then going through menopause and then starting post menopause and then the post menopause weight gain, lack of energy, and just no drive, just not feeling great. And then for me, it started the weight gain. And then it was like, oh my gosh, I don't fit into any of my clothes. And so I just really was like, okay, I have to do this. It's crazy. And so I felt like I needed the program at that time, which ended up being amazing for me because it just really got me back on track and just really watching what I was doing and just paying closer attention to, what I'm doing with my body and what I'm sticking in my mouth. So
So what would you say, were there any changes? I know this is an interesting topic too, especially as women go, active women that were active before they hit the perimenopause, menopause stage, and then the changes that occurred, like had anything changed? Did you notice, especially after you gone through the program, like what were the biggest changes in your daily life, your habits, if any, before the issues and then after?
yeah, a lot of new habits. And so for me, as I had told Kathy earlier, that I am really a person who likes structure and routine. And so every week, getting up early, then I added into my journal and my prayer time, and I added in yoga in each morning before my walks. And then I would do my walks and start to work out. So I didn't have that. And then each week with the accountability portion, we would add on in small increments, which made it really nice and not overwhelming. And so then each time I would add a little bit more, a little bit more. And so I didn't feel overwhelmed by it. And I was able to stay consistent the entire time with the workout part.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I know, like, for those of you that don't know the program, like Karen sharing, we go through a weekly, just adding, slowly starting, building up the habits that are going to make the biggest impact at this stage of life, and then going through and chatting together to see what's working, what's not working, because obviously we want to create the habits that work. So what were some of the habits that have changed for you? I know you were always very structured before, but what do you think has been the biggest changes for you since doing the program?
Yeah, I'm structured, but you know what, incorporating a little bit more. So I know going through menopause, I lost a lot of energy during that time, and it was like, oh, I used to love to work out, and then I got to like, oh, okay, I don't know, maybe I can do it later. And and that part, the energy component was hard for me. And I think you shared with me one time was like, just start it, just start, and slowly work through. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. But it was the other times when I was pushing it off and then not getting to it. So I think that really helped me, was that okay, let's just start it. And even if you start going and you hate it and you're miserable, then stop after 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But usually by the time I got to that point, it was like, okay, I'm just going to keep going. So I loved making sure that I had that component in there, but also increasing my steps on my walk. So
Mhm.
when I'm out for my walk now, like I used to have one route where I would go and then I would come back and I'm like, okay, I got my steps in. And it's like, oh, well, let's add some more steps. And so now I have a new route, which is a little bit longer. And then lately I just created another new route that goes a little bit longer. And so instead of, just going out, you have to do, I don't know, 6 miles or whatever. Instead of feeling overwhelmed that way, it was slowly, increasing my walk. So that was a big one for
That's
me, making
huge.
sure I got steps. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we talked to so many of us that we think we're doing what we always did, and then we start to track, and it's like, oh, I'm not really getting in as much as I
Yeah.
should. But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
the wake up call. So what were your biggest achievements, accomplishments throughout the challenge that you were excited? I know, hitting in the new habits, but what were the biggest impact and the things that you're celebrating now?
Um, for me, is I think I shared was is the routines, making sure that I can continue and stay consistent with my routines. Also making sure I'm getting my water. I started carrying around my 50. I will do, I don't know if you, let's see, it's there.
Yeah,
My 50 water bottle, and then I do one, then I do another one, and then I'll do 20. So I think for me, getting in my water, but also being a teacher, it's hard because you don't get bathroom breaks. You have them before you start or during recess, some days, not always. But so I started doing a lot of my water in the morning. So I try to do 50 to 60 ounces before I do anything. Because then I'll go and get it all out. But I also think changing it up to the electrolyte water was huge too, because I really noticed a difference with that. So adding that component in, and then now I also, with my meals, I'm not a huge vegetable person, but I know now, like, let's make sure you add it in. And so in different meals throughout the day, I'm making sure that I'm adding those veggies into my meals too. So veggies and water were a big one for me.
awesome. Yeah, those simple, but yeah, simple to not do either. I know I'm a big baby with vegetables too. I have to make myself do it too. So, but yeah, result wise, what were you looking for when you joined, and what was the actual reality after the program, after the 90 days?
So in the very beginning, it was a weight loss. I wanted the scale to say less. It had to say less.
Mhm.
But in reality, after doing my measurements, looking at my pictures, and then a huge one for me was getting those jeans out that I wanted to wear. And I had to fit into those jeans for an upcoming trip. And I did. My scale did not change, but my pictures changed and my measurements changed. So that was a big thing. And then even when I was talking to the doctor about menopause and hormones and all that kind of stuff, even the doctor said, go by your measurements. Don't look at the scale, because that is not an accurate replica at all, because days you're drinking water and retaining more water, things like that. So for me, really looking at the pictures too made a huge difference. So it's like, oh yeah, I see it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I love your doctor. Oh my gosh, I don't hear that all the time. So I have to stop right there, because I hear so many times people say the opposite, that the doctor says that they have to go by that scale weight. So I love your
So I
doctor.
do, I should throw a note out there. It is not my doctor, because I have Kaiser. This
Okay.
is a women's wellness
Oh,
center.
no
So
wonder.
she is a wellness doctor. So
She
yeah,
knows.
she
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 knows.
knows.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. So that I had to just stop and
Yeah.
talk about that, because that's not a norm. So,
Right.
well, congratulations. I know you worked really hard. You were very diligent, and it was summertime. That I have to just share that. Like, you were traveling, you were busy, you were all
I
over the place. So, before we wrap up, I'd love to know, like, why did you think summer? Like, why did you choose summer? And how did you incorporate your success even throughout all the travels?
for me, summer is like my time and downtime. But it's also, I eat a lot of times when I'm bored. And so I really kind of had to get myself back consistent, being on a routine and a schedule, to help me, because I really did not want to continue to add for weight. And then add more weight. But one of the things that you taught me also, when I was leaving on vacation, I started getting anxious, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat. I'll probably be off the program. And then you said, okay, well, let's try one strategy with this trip, and of not eating in between. You're going to have your meal. You're going to have whatever you have as you're sitting at the table. Enjoy it. Enjoy every bite. And whatever you have, you have. But when you push yourself away from that table, you're not snacking in between. So that was a huge component of it. And I noticed that on my first trip, I came back and I actually had lost weight. So, or lost ounces. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
feeling as
Yeah.
opposed to what we used to do. No, that was very it was fun to see, because I know that the travels are usually a big issue. So what are you looking forward to next? Like, what are the next goals that you're going to be working on?
For me is more strength training,
Yeah.
and just continue to build that muscle and tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. As I know you will, your body's like primed and ready. And last but not least, now, what would you say if you were talking to a friend or someone who's wanting to get results like where you were before, and really feeling anxious about taking their health to the next level? Like, what would you say about, or to that friend?
Oh my gosh, absolutely do it. 100%. I think just join and go slow, baby steps. Everybody's not asking you to jump into the deep end. As we walk in, we just gain these practices and we move forward with them and build. So it's like that, building our house. We have to start with that foundation and the framework. And I think that's where even with me, you started there, and let's add on. And so we started to build that, which was great. And so that's why I'm looking forward to the next steps of putting our roof and our walls on.
Let's do it. Yes, jumping into the stronger challenge. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. So amazing. That is a lot of great advice, Karen, and I thank you so much. And again, your results were phenomenal. Just the success you had through all the ups and downs, I think is just, it's, goes to show that this is real life. This is sustainable. These are patterns and habits you can live with. You don't have to follow anything, a meal plan or whatever. You are living your life. And if this
Yeah.
resonates with you, if you're watching this and you are motivated by Karen's story, if you want to achieve that body and the mind and the results that, are somewhere in your future goals, now that over 40, you don't know how to do it because the diets and the cardios are just not working anymore, then set up a call, a link in the call link below. You can book in a call with me and we could create a strategy, figure out where you're struggling, where you want to go, and what we would say would be the best first few steps. So again, thank you, Karen. I appreciate you. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Looking forward to your next chapter, your next success story.
Me too.
All
Me
right.
too.
Take care. Okay.